Okay, so that was the first part of the process. The second part of the process for us was writing a data recipe because we were, or at least I was doing it in P5 at the time. When you're about to communicate with the computer and you're about to write the program, it's important to be as detailed as possible. So the second step that she encouraged us to do was write a data recipe. And so that's basically step one, this, step two, this, step three, that, and using really clear language of what you need to get done. Whatever medium of your choosing, having that step by step is going to make it a lot less daunting when you like go ahead and do it, if that makes sense. So you're not just, so it helps to bridge between your idea and your output. So in our course specifically, we are going to complement this with a data mapping workshop. So it's similar to what we're doing here, but just in a more visual way. We're going to be doing it on Miro. And so that will be held as a live workshop. The details will be up on our Discord. So yeah, be sure to stay tuned to that. And we're back here. So, of course, the final parts of the process is actually writing the code out on P5.js. And yeah, just like drawing it out. So I will say two things about this process. The first is I had a lot of help. So on top of, like YouTube tutorials and trying to find what you need, I also asked Karen for a lot of help, and I really relied on her, her feedback and her guidance. And I wouldn't have, like, by no means, in no way would I have achieved anything even close to something that looks like this had it not been for that one-on-one support with her. So yeah, so I really encourage you to really reach out for help, make use of our community where possible. That's really where personally, like, my project and my grade depended on at the time. And the second thing that I'll say is, yes, a portion of your time will be about kind of knowing what code to put in, and that comes through just gathering a few references or tutorials, and chances are you will find the code snippets that you'll need, right? I will say a larger portion of the time is in debugging and actually knowing where to place that code, bent more towards like figuring out how the code fits together and kind of just like a big puzzle, like piecing it together. And so all of that to say, it's important to stay curious, stay patient with yourself, and don't be discouraged if you are at a stage and you're kind of like, and like, you're running in circles. Yeah, you'll get there. You will get there. Okay, so wrapping all of that up, as we go forward with modules 4 to 6 from here on out, I will be doing the modules alongside you in order to just better illustrate the steps that I'll be showing you guys. However, I will be, for my project, I will be using a different and more simplified data set. And this is the end result that I'll be working towards. So the data is basically flowers that are in bloom in every season based on their color. And so this was actually gathered by our team, one of our first team members, Erica from batch 1. Yeah, and so that's what I'll be using to work through modules 4 to 6 alongside you guys. If you don't have a data set, or if you still don't know what data story you want to do, you are of course more than welcome to use the same data set as I'll be using. And so I'll link it in the description below, because this is kind of a similar framework to the Mother Garden. I know that like sort of the Excel tricks or the P5 tricks that I'll be recording on YouTube from here on out in these modules may or may not apply to your data set, but hopefully it just gives you guys those pointers of like, okay, well, this is what I would do next. Okay, this is what we can do next, and just give you pointers that way. And of course, if you need extra resources or extra help, we have a help channel in our Discord server as well. But yeah, so that's basically how we'll be progressing from here on out. And that's it. So that was, I know that was a long one, but I am really excited and glad to be able to finally share about this project's process with you. And so hopefully that was of interest to you all and can be helpful in your next steps in the course. So yeah, so next video, we're going to dive straight into module 4, and we are going to cover those basic processes of data viz and also how to parse your data in Microsoft Excel. So by then, be sure to share your homework on Discord, so a summary of that in this slide. And also it would help to have your dataset ready as well before we get into module 4, where we'll be working on tidying up that dataset in Microsoft Excel. And finally, if you learn extra things in the meantime, again, I've said this before, I'll say it again, don't forget to document, either by sharing or by keeping a record of your own. Don't forget to document all of that, and it's going to be super helpful for you to keep referring to in your process. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. I loved preparing this one for you guys, and so hopefully you enjoyed this, and thanks again for following through our lesson, and I will see you in the next one, either in a workshop or in the next video. Bye.